The presentation over, it's now time for the judges to decide which of the two teams have put forward the best strategy.
For me, I think there is a question of presenting something which does have a coherence and which has a package and which would meet the tests of is it financially viable, is it sustainable?
The cultural crawl and heritage, those are things that Northampton really and truly, and they're ideas that I shouldn't think we'll waste. We'll think about that, and the signposts, interactive signposts from the station into the marina, things like that, and just really give it some ambience.
But I think their presentation did not say Northampton. It could have been written for any of the other towns where I've worked. It could have been written for a lot of other places. And if they knew about the character and nature of Northampton and they didn't reflect that in their presentation, then really that's just not good enough.
They carved up the tasks, they made sure they covered everything. They knew there were only 4 of them instead of 5. But in doing that, they didn't actually reach a point where they were beginning to pull that together into a cohesive presentation, and that really showed.
Anthony showed, no leadership in that exercise, so didn't draw any ideas together, but actually it's worked to their advantage for the presentation.
It's almost as if they had read the initial exercise, or the wording, with a very different emphasis.
It's judgment time, and with the scores from the previous challenges tying at 1-1, the teams must now face yet another round of questions from the judging panel. The first question puts them on the spot. Just how many of Northampton's residents did the teams actually talk to?
Anyone that will talk to us, we'll talk to them, basically.
Put a figure on it. 5, 50, 30?
So I personally spoke to at least 20 people, so with the rest of them as well, I'm not sure.
We'll settle for 35. You'll settle for 35?
20, 30.
You're settling for 20?
Yvonne, you were the project leader. Right. The other 3 of you. Good project lead?
We felt a bit guilty sort of agreeing with him to be team leader this time and putting him at the deep end and working with 3 people he's never met before or worked with before. So it was a difficult challenge for him, and he stood up to it really well.
I think Von was the perfect person for this because he had that calm, laid-back picture. If we were getting anxious about anything, he would just say, it's fine, we're okay, we're on track. So he gave us the confidence to think, oh yeah, all right, yeah, that's good. So I think in this particular case, his style of leadership was just what we needed for this challenge.
And then Anthony, you were the team leader for the Arctic Stars. Right, the other 4 of you. Good team leader?
In our last challenge, and in our challenge before, it was less. I thought we were less structured in those challenges than we were this challenge, and I think actually that was Anthony sort of saying, this is the plan, this is the times, this is, when we said that's how our planning process with the 3 themes, that was sort of led by Anthony as well, and I thought that really helped.
Claire, I wonder if I can ask you first about the Red Stripes and Von as a team leader.
We trusted the team to get on with their task, and they got on with their task. So I think as leadership goes, it's an unusual style of leadership, but I thought he demonstrated it very well.
And Adam, with regard to Anthony?
I feel that Anthony's quite good at chairing. Was quite good at chairing the discussions, so telling people to be quiet and not to speak. But I'm not quite so sure that I would be quite as positive as his teammates about what a good leader he is.
After an honest assessment of the leader's abilities, it's time for the judges to reveal who are the winners of the Northampton Challenge.
And I'm very happy to say that although we enjoyed both presentations, engaged fully with both of them, we do feel that on this occasion the winning team is the Anarchic Stars.
So it's the Anarchic Stars who've pushed forward into first place once again. But what was it about their ideas that most wowed the judges?
They were hugely engaged with the challenge, and the important thing, it was a serious challenge and a real challenge for Northampton. So this wasn't about a made-up exercise. This was a real challenge that Northampton are grappling with at the moment, and here were 2 teams fully engaging with it, including going out in the middle of the night to check up on the realities of the nighttime economy in Northampton.
I felt that the teams had a good grasp of what was required in terms of What they presented, though, was somewhat different. The Red Stripes, unfortunately, in my opinion, forgot about the question and looked at more what Northampton was lacking in terms of a coherent marketing strategy, and didn't disagree with that, but that wasn't the question. The Arctic Stars did answer the question, which was what Northampton needs is a vibrant nighttime economy and how we're going to build on that, and they came up with a load of ideas which was more the result of a brainstorm. However, they lacked a little bit of depth with that, but it certainly gave us some good ideas to take forward, and we could perhaps put some meat on the bones.
The local government challenge score is now 2-1 to the Anarchic Stars, but are they feeling confident about their position on the leaderboard?
I think for the purposes of like the game, you know, it will go 2-2 and then it all rests on the last one. But what I hope is that, you know, we do win the next one as well, and then, you know, the pressure is off then on the final one, and everyone can just sort of enjoy it and just, you know. But we will see. We don't know what you're going to throw out of us next time, so we're just going to approach it like we do everyone, don't we? Give it 110% and work on the feedback as we got on the last challenge.
I think that's it. As we're scored individually, irrespective of how we perform as a team, because we don't know how we've scored against each other, there's no space for complacency. We have to keep pushing ourselves, and we have to be the best that we can be, because when we're doing a task, we don't know what the other team's doing, we don't know what they're coming up with in comparison to ours, so we've always got to give it 110%.
The Red Stripes may have fallen into second place, but with 2 more challenges to go until the final, they won't be going down without a fight.
We were so close to winning this. We had the ideas there, we had a really sound structure. I just think we weren't brave enough to just commit ourselves to 2 distinct main ideas that we could explain fully in those 10 minutes. We kind of panicked a bit, and we wanted to show off that we had found out a lot over the 24 hours. We threw it all in at the end, and perhaps that diluted our presentation and took away from the things that were really good that we found out. When the Red Stripes lost the first challenge, it made us more hungry to win the second challenge, and we really did go all out for that second challenge, and we won it, and we came through on it, and we learned from our mistakes. I think that we'll do the same. I think that we will be even more focused and even more determined to win.